Of all the places in America, the university is supposed to be the hotbed of open discussion. You debate, test your ideas, listen to see whose argument is best, and we learn from that open debate. But now, students on many campuses are taught that some words and ideas are just beyond the pale. They do not deserve to be heard. Also, now students are told, don't even use phrases like, "that's so gay," or "man up." That's supposed to be offensive to gays and women. Now, these campaigns mean well. They're meant to discourage attitudes that have been used to marginalize people, and it's good to open students' eyes about that. But speech codes meant to protect people give the power of censorship to whomever is most easily and quickly offended, and that gives everyone this perverse incentive to be offended, to become more sensitive. If being easily offended gives you power over other people, some people will get offended quickly. Catherine Timpf writes about this. She's a reporter for the website Campus Reform. Students now walk on eggshells?
Definitely. Students are terrified. It's not just the typical things that you think of, oh, that's offensive. You guys is even very offensive. You're supposed to say men, women, and people that do not conform to those gender binaries. So you can't say, hey, guys, want to get some pizza. You have to say, hey, men, women, and people who don't, not the same ring to it, really.
But guys includes women, and do students laugh at this?
Some do, and some are very, very serious. When I went to a feminist conference of college students, a lot of them were upset that a speaker addressed them as you guys, saying men, women, and people that don't conform. That's incredibly long, and you guys isn't actually saying you are all guys, and I think you're all guys.
You're all people.
Yeah.
At Dartmouth, they were planning a party, a fiesta they called it. What happened?
Well, one student complained saying that this was racist and insensitive because it did not give an accurate representation of all of Mexican culture.
She described herself as Mexican-born. I'm a woman of color, but.
Right. The thing is, these students didn't say, hey, come to our cultural history museum. They said, come to our lawn, eat burritos and chips, and let's raise money for heart patients.
Yeah, there was a charity event. They canceled it.
Yes.
Macalester College, the University Department of Multicultural Life tells students don't use the words derp, wuss, or you guys again. What's derp?
It's something that you put on a meme. Maybe someone makes a funny face. It's like duh or stupid. And they said to replace that with cognitive learning disability, which is much more offensive. They said don't say crazy, say person with a mental health condition. Crazy is like a girl who texts too many times or an uncle who yells at the TV. They're not interchangeable.
Duke, some students there, not the university at least, they have this campaign, don't use man up. Right,
man up. I want to tell these kids, just so you know, you're not actually saying be more like a man. It's an idiom. It's an idiom. They need an idiom awareness campaign.
But it's kind of saying be tougher like a man.
We're going to have people walking around saying, hey, I heard you say that Tess was easy as pie. She's a baker. You're diminishing her work and she doesn't appreciate it. That's what's up next.
So those are just campaigns, but students have been kicked off campus for saying the wrong thing. At Valdosta State University, a student was expelled because he criticized some environmental plan that the university president had.
Exactly. You can't criticize, you can't say anything, and it's totally destroying this form of open ideas and free speech that a college is supposed to be so you can learn. What good is all this focus on diversity that these campuses have if you can't actually hear what anybody has to say for real?
Now, we pick the worst examples. There've got to be universities where people feel pretty free, or is this everywhere?
This is everywhere. I've talked to students all over the country as a reporter at Campus Reform. That's what I do, and everyone's saying that there's this huge focus on we need to be careful because you can get in some serious trouble, or with the internet, people can blast you and you can get a name as a racist every time someone Googles you.
At SUNY Oswego College, a journalism student was kicked off campus for asking hockey coaches about his school's coach. He said, what you say doesn't have to be positive, that's fine. He was ordered to vacate his dorm and accused of harassment, threats, and defamation against the coach.
Because he was trying to facilitate this open communication that is going to become impossible. So that's going to be happening all over the place, I think, because if you can't say you guys or man up, then I'm a little terrified that I might have said something offensive during this segment without even knowing it.
At the University of Central Florida, a professor is suspended for joking about tough exam questions. Am I on a killing spree or what?
Again, he wasn't actually saying he was going to kill anybody. There are expressions. We're going to have to go through all of our idioms and totally destroy them and make them twice as long just to make sure not even one person is offended.
America's supposed to be about liberty.